life. Stop all this childish shit, so who do you think I am? Down with your childish kids, wanna run away from this stupid life. So sad, poor thing, devil is knocking on my door. Tell me who is going to take my place? The surrogate life. Nobody sees all this pain. 9 to 5 saying alright. Changed my life, I get into crisis. Is this really the end? Stop all this childish shit, so who do you think I am? Down with your childish kids, wanna run away from this stupid life. So sad, poor thing, devil's knocking on my door. Tell me who is going to take my place? The surrogate life. I lost all the light, so why does everybody else see it? Welcome to rock bottom, where the only way to go is up.
Okay, that should be everything set up. Now we only got to... We got a bit of a balanced update as well, but we're not looking at that right now. Yeah, that's still more than what RJ have for 2 costs, so anyway, can stop being stupid. That's still more damage. Am I not allowed to make a bunch of references constantly to it? In fact, one of the few things is got it to references for the some other pictures. So, if it fits, it fits. That's the situation. She literally just gets an extra weapon. Why not? And then she's the first character to get a team up in that way. So why shouldn't you? Why shouldn't I do that? Plus, it's not. Alright, this is what we'll be running. And even then, I'm not allowed to use their, not allowed to use their music because that one's half copyrighted. Hello, Reaper. You have too many blocks, and you're not even running Gia. This is on you. There you go. And then I do this. Watch this. It should automatically update. Yeah, wait, upgrade. Yep, there it is. Done. Really did it. No, and be aware you guys are forced to block that thing. Quick information about Rain of Lead. It's a bit of a cheater. Dude, and we just got a bug already. Wow. Yeah, you're gonna only get that basic thing. What if I told you you could just do this? Fine, you are someone that can recover enough. Here you go. We're good. Fine. No, you're too slow. Here's a breaker. We'll end with sending you into the sky. If it does 1,700. There you go. In what way do you mean smooth? A reminder, I'm working on, I am playing this on an emulator, so the difference there is it's working off of my computer's processing power, but my iPad is sometimes able to keep the game smooth, but loading assets is always going to be a problem. So yeah, We already did what we needed to, but we have already found that she has the block bug. Her block does not last as long as it should. No! You ran into that one. Let's see here. What if I... No. There's a melee hit. There we go. Okay, that launched. I can't say. It seems that you can dodge it out right from the beginning, so we should be fine there. Ah, of course, fine. That's a no. Very cheap cost there. That's annoying. Well, now I don't get the thing. Back away. No. Well, I still got it. I still got the thing. And now they do. Now, here's a breaker. We'll do the same thing. Does it happen? Yeah, it did. And now, Fading Spark, launch, and Legendary Ranger mode. Dazed, and sadly though we don't get to end it. But the lighting on that might be a bit off. What do you mean, never Rasa? Like, just like 8. The problem is, I don't think that was when I was starting. Around that time. I was starting around yeah. And of course we're gonna... Again. I have to have this boring type of teammate. What, we're gonna see Camille? Not yet. Anyway, let's see here. Yeah, they're just gonna cycle like that. Be aware, melee attack. Fine, no. It's up in the air only. Good enough. Good enough. You can't just outright dodge it constantly. Got rid of that one. But they're gonna get their super here if things line up. Is it really gonna knock out though? You don't have to crit, you know. Because Troy doesn't work with the team, which is probably why they didn't bother giving him a team up. Even though they could have done it when you... That was not that long ago. That was not that long ago. To be precise, that was 6 years ago, not 7. Or 8. More than likely, rather. If it was that long ago. And even then, I don't think that... Yeah. I'm not sure. Time is weird. Especially since that was when the pandemic existed. Steal. Come on! No strike? Okay. Nah, then they go with a block. Fine. The attack's lingering at the hitbox, or rather, the hitbox activates quite late into the animation, it seems. Okay, then. Get rid of that. There you go. No! Now we're gonna send you to the sky! That works. Nothing else? We fly! The sad part is I don't need this block. I don't need the same assist. There. Okay, so if we do butterfly kicks, Gemma. I got Gia. Of course, why do I have to always mess them up? Gia. No, I have my other account. It's just more like I'm not allowed to play on the PC. Because it's an Apple account. It's right here. There's the account. It's on this. Of course I keep the... Why do I do their names on the opposite? That's just wrong! Like, I accidentally keep calling Gia Gemma, and the other way around as well. I keep calling Gemma Gia! You have to just use Gia assist. Hello, Blessing? Or Jong? Meh. Jongwei, or whatever. I can't get the name right. I already messed up names. I don't think I'm gonna get that one either. Phoenix Mark, don't add a dash. Point blank. And get a shot. There you go. It's been activated. We back away. And block here. Guns blazing! Fire twice! Get another gun! And start blasting even more! Also, they do another shot. I'm not... Listen, if nWay's doing it on purpose that she's shooting backwards again, I am not making another animation. Especially since they haven't added an extra Mega Force what is it again? They haven't added an extra Mega Force villain. So it's kind of useless. Okay, but like I say, we don't have so. The best I could do is a random Robonite enjoying a cake or getting blasted in the face. That's the first thing I popped in my head just now. Because of just the subject of this, the sledge one. But the problem is it doesn't work, even if it's a pink bullet again. Okay, wow. Well, that was useless to see. What if I just... There you go. And nope. Nope. Stay out of that one. We're just gonna see Kimberly again, aren't we? Yeah, of course. Crit. Because why not? And as I said, just idiots. And I'm referring to nWay with that change. There's a blind spot in the animation. Follow it! Seriously, visual clarity is not a thing anymore. Butterfly kicks. Yep, that's in range. Yes, I know they clearly stated they removed it. But then why are you being retarded and not fixing all the other hitboxes? Black Dragon still whiffs when his visual effect hits you. They fixed Leo, and they changed his primary now into a 50-50 block. How many more? It's still not gonna fix him. The fact is, they need to add some sort of universal counterplay to Leo's super. Like, I don't know, maybe a universal... If he activates a super, your opponent gets a free jump. And in that sense, they activate... The taunt button gives you an effect that launches you into the air. Like, you get a negative effect so you can dodge their self-destruct. They can do something like that. Like, it's not that, that's not something I can't just not do. If they want to give a universal counterplay, then they don't have to care too much about it. No, enough. There we go. Get back away. Fine. Oh, of course. I forgot it's actually technically full screen, so you weren't going to dodge it unless you have a teleporting attack. I mean, the fact is, it's just another super attack. I'm gonna put it this way, it's, when are they gonna redo Master Morph Tommy? When are they gonna redo that one? I did a better super on release, and now it's a bunch of reused animations. In this case, they actually gave Emma a decent chunk of unique animations for the super. Unlike a worthless, just repeating attack. Like, seriously. What even happened there? With whoever designed that. There you go. Even though this is not even true combo, but it's good enough. And we're back away. Okay, that's their block. And again. You really need multiple of them? Up we go. And V2. Okay, well, we fly. There you go. Point blank. And butterfly kick. Falling... Fading spark. And, well, what is it? Yeah, fine. Get staggered! Bubbles. The only problem is I don't agree with the first hit. Like, she's doing a full-on slash into the air. Why are we dazing the opponent? I feel like the only bad thing about her super is the activation animation. I think I'm gonna call it that. We're gonna say the only thing bad about Emma is her super activation. Like, why are we doing an upward slash? Does anyone have the reference to that? What is the reason we got an upward slash? And proceeding to daze the opponent.
3, 2, 1, go!
Now, okay, well, that didn't help. Well, away back to the corner. They don't have Gia for this one, so we'll actually be able to do this. And then guns blazing. Here you go. Into the sky. There you go. Bit of extra damage, but yeah. Another nope. Nope. That's gonna be a no. Only good thing I've seen about that assist is at least it's not something you're gonna be able to just spam to hit the opponent. Just dodging constantly will work. Apparently not that time. Not that time. There it is. Anyway. Fading spark. Fire once. And then Gia. Into guns blazing. This will lead into the super. And yes, they are using a battle for the grid line on Gia. Sadly though, apparently they're not good enough there. That kind of super Jake might get. That depends on the release schedule. I think we can obviously guess by their care for character rarity. Yeah. Ninja stop. Yeah, who knows? It's nWay. Good luck. Good luck guessing what what they're doing. Well, that happened. No. Guns blazing. Ah, I could have done something there instead. Oh, you know what? They're activated anyway. You missed. Guns blazing. And now, we're actually gonna... How much health do you have left over from this? 4,500? Do I not have anything? Okay. You just skip. Fire! The other problem here is the fact that they still aren't getting these end screens right. Come on. Does the camera not move to one of those extra cameras on the bones? Isn't it Orcs A? That seriously, if there's one of the developers that follow the animations, isn't Orcs Collision A or whichever one, A, B, or C? Which one is the end camera going to? Because at that point, you guys need to start positioning that thing better. You've done well on multiple, but no, you skipped it over on this super. What do you mean, chase the only one? Fading spark. Yeah, don't add a dash. Anyway, point blank. And point blank. And back away. Jump. And explode. Yep. There it is. Back in the corner. Another breaker. Yep. Send out this thing. Sweep. And fire. Now, the only problem is I have to be careful. Yeah. No, that's not gonna be. That's not here. Be careful. Again. And then they get the cheaper one. He doesn't throw weapons like another one. And stop. We already have enough red ranges in the game. When they choose to release it, they're probably gonna actually care about it. That's the only thing. If they're gonna release a red ranger, they're going to be trying to care about it. Mac, I think, was the most recent one. And he's technically been neglected in a way. I think he's the most recent. He has a buggy mess of a kit. He exists, but the way his things are, and yeah, no, not a combo. I don't know why they bothered putting that in the video, if they even did. Okay, here you go. And then that's gonna be a problem. Okay, game. Oracle is gonna go ahead and ruin interactions again. Nope. And knockdown from the air does that. So be it. We fly! I'm sure you could do something there. Come on! And fire again! Legendary Ranger mode. This one, yeah, this knocks out. At least the damage distribution is all over the place. Which is better than seeing the same number for a while. As I said, Decker is an example of a very good release. Not broken. Forces you to learn the character. And very fun when you know how to. Alongside having the ability to have a lot of having a lot of similar things to other characters with his loops in his primary slot. And then also style on your opponent by mixing them up constantly. Yeah, okay. There's your block. 5 energy. So be it. Set this up. And again! You don't get to use it? I do. I steal your Geo away. There we go. Sweep. And fire. And point blank. Now we just have to be careful. Yeah, no. Didn't rotate. I mean, you can also look at the weird choice of something. And yeah, that didn't work. You can also look at the weird choice of their timing with being sheath-based. Did Decker really go about sheathing his blade in that way? Did he really? I don't remember that, and I ended up watching him as a kid. I watched Samurai around that time, but I don't remember him being based on sheathing constantly. Weird timing that it's after I make the thumbnail for Antonio doing a sheath animation that Decker is basically doing, which is exactly Virgil's stance against Death Ranger. About to slash the orb out of the sky is what's happening there. Exactly, so whatever that style is, they just thought, yeah, let's just do that. Why not? You'll have a type. Ah, okay. We fly! Now we need, Gia again. Come on. Useless. Yeah, because everyone needs to run Oracle, don't they? When's the next ban list update exactly? This is seriously why they just don't want to at this point. Yeah, no, that block is, at least it's a 2 cost, so it makes sense for having bad hit reaction at the end of it, but still. So, very minimal update. How many times are we going to expect an actual patch this month? Because if we're going by character releases, it's only 30 days. Pretty sure isn't the next character on the 1st? Doesn't the next character release on the 1st of July? If going by release schedules. No, you can cancel it. I don't think there's gonna be one. And there, blind spot again. Fine. 7. You didn't recover. No? Okay, fine. Well, here we go. Point blank. Interrupt. And get a shot. Guns blazing. With this, you are dead. And then, Legendary Ranger mode. Hit it with a bunch of bubbles. Dash through. Explode. Bash them. And fire the arrow. Who knows? Some of the characters are just not that obvious when it comes to their silhouette. So some of them, at least, how do I put this? Joel. Joel was an example, I think it was. He actually caused people to be confused who he could have possibly been between a different season or the season or Lightspeed Rescue. It was that for him. That was the situation. There we go. And then guns blazing. Why do you think? Okay, you dare push me away? I'm gonna blast you even more than you realize. Now the guns blazing. Back to your corner you stay. Point blank. You're in the air. Phoenix Bug. Nah. Masonry Ranger mode. Here's a bunch of bubbles. And now we strike through and explode. Also, B1, if we fight a Decker and he lands the rock, I have had a bit of an art block when it comes to those Harvey's and Decker's thumbnails. And right now, their videos are up. They're uploaded, edited and everything. I'm having a bit of a problem with getting their thumbnails right. That's the problem there. Like, here's a bit of a spoiler for Decker's one. He's gonna be cutting your YouTube dark mode. That's what the idea hit there was. He cut through to a different reality. He's just appearing on your screen without any background, but that only works on YouTube dark mode. Harvey, however, I have nothing. I managed to find nothing in terms of posters for him. Again, there you go, guns blazing. That's just her assist at that point. Why did that not cancel? Oh, okay. Here we go. Super recover for a strike. Yeah. The cancel window's before the slide, I'm pretty sure. Explosion, stop being stupid. We all know that Ninja Kimberly is just another retarded design like Rocky. The only reason we aren't seeing it as much on ladder yet is because she's a legendary. And no one's been giving it away for free so easily. No blind spot point blank anymore because nWay decided, nah, let's not make it visually clear. And then not to mention the entire bit of range it has. It also hits further than visually there as well, and it was hitting full screen for a long while. For no reason at all, just because nWay decided, nah, let's just... We don't care about showing what is an actual hitbox and what isn't. Yep. Great. No. Okay, that's reset your energy. Great. Watch as he gets a crit, which is one of the other things about this character. No, not this time, for once. Yeah. See, there it is. Once again, because they don't care. Reminder, they just buffed Lothar. Instead of, oh yeah, let's make this character do this much damage in a short period. Now let's just allow him to activate this damage from at any point, but a slightly bit weaker. Reminder, he still refunds his energy upon doing his block into his breaker cancel. And they didn't nerf the damage on Lothar Super either. Or remove the armor. In fact, they basically just gave everyone the ability to use Black Dragon's special interaction. So now, Black Dragon doesn't even get to be unique anymore because Lothar is being stupid. Just to point that out. Lothar assist, stealing Black Dragon's whole stump and jump gimmick. Yeah. Get rid of the stupid cancel. You don't deserve the armor and the cancel. You're an assist. Well, barrage of fire. They buffed Drakon. It's mediocre at best. He can jump now, which is good. He has an instant jump utility. Okay? Which is decent. Now the problems with Drakon still exist. They even made his Thunder Slash worse. They gave it recovery. They removed one of his combos by giving it recovery. Are we really doing the Psycho Red situation again? They both don't have supers. Why do you need to change everything good about them and try and weaken that? Trent is not broken. With his positioning-based stuff, you can basically expect you can basically expect a bunch of stuff from him to happen. I know of the repeat on his arrows, but that's an outright bug, so he just gets double damage there. Are you going to rotate or not? Yeah, of course you wouldn't. Supposed to have gone the other thing, but apparently you don't want to get your wind slicer. And of course. Yeah, primary strike. Nope, didn't rotate 3 times! Now it wants to. Now it wants to rotate. No. Yeah, let's do this. Let's see what kind of combo we can get right after. And fire. Point blank. No. Okay. Butterfly kicks. No. That's sadly not an explosion. As I said. But Trent, not really. His overall damage is lowered, while his laser arrows is probably going to get a hotfix if nWay keeps noticing it. Yeah, pretty sure, didn't they? So they basically slow down the grenade, which, as I said, there's stupidity of not having any diverse amount of assists. Maybe they can fix it by forcing actual team-ups, but at that point, that's they would have to repeat what they just did with Emma in different ways. I activate it anyway. No, you can't add a dash. Point blank. There. But we both don't get to use it. No healing. But yeah, Troy assist once again still being stupid because no downside. You either hit them or you heal. Great. Yeah, who knows what nWay did there. Anyway, up you go. Let's see. Sadly, it looks like we need a block combo if we want to get away with a true combo with Fading Spark into Gia, into the Breaker. Hello, Giovanni. There we just had we had Antonio doing that pose. As I mentioned about Decker. Will it load it again? No, it's bridge. So yeah, in terms of Trent, his situation is, at least his is an outright buff. 2 cost, 3 cost, he's just overall cheaper. His metal slot, that's probably gonna get hotfixed. They didn't let Black Dragon have 10 attacks on his breaker. In fact, they turned it into an outright projectile. Trent getting a double repeat of his arrows is more than likely not happening. He's not going to be staying. Yeah, 4,400. Yeah, for 5 costs. Lothar was doing more. Lothar was doing more damage. Up you go. Point blank. Ah, yes. The looping primary slot. Alright, and that as well. You don't have to watch the opponent anymore. You don't have to watch a Drakon. You can just, guess what? Instead of having to care about what he's doing, that crit. Instead of having to care about what he's doing, you can just block right as soon as he reaches in the air, because he can't cancel anymore. The moment he jumps into the air during that Thunder Slash, you can just block. He no longer he doesn't get to fake you out anymore. Drakon is still bad, in my opinion. Nah, Leo got adjusted again. He's faster with his primary block, but now it's a 50-50. Lothar is technically more of an adjustment rework because he doesn't care about what's in his primary slot anymore. So I wouldn't call Lothar's a nerf. That's a damage nerf. An actual kit nerf? No. In fact, his kit is stronger. A Whale Lothor will feel weaker. But that's because they just outright killed everyone in a few cards anyway. A regular Lothor will choose... Ah, yes. Now I get this powerful combo. He can use his primary block, refund 1. So his block into his breaker is only a 6 cost. And then he gets his boosted crit chance again. Just a warning. That's what Lothor is doing now. And Emma's in the situation of she's unique. Doesn't feel broken. She's basically just... It's a good release. They managed to find a way to make cheap costs proper. Problem is, why'd they nerf Tori then? I don't know. I don't know if I'm around to that. I didn't watch Mega Force. You could have run Emma Assist and gone... You realize that's... Okay. This Robonite user has failed. You should have run Emma Assist. She's actually able to allow him to combo his middle slot. No. And scratch that, never mind. It does still work after the slide. Anyway. That, of course. Reminder. Remember when she became more expensive? Not this update. Tori is not as strong as she used to be. Remember. Ah, that actually does a decent bit of damage. Who knows? Remember, Tori used to be a 2 cost in her middle slot and a 3 cost on her kick. They decided to nerf that. A long time ago. A bunch of undeserved nerfs to epics that had nothing to do with anything. They had nothing to do with meta. Surfer kick used to be a 3, Ninja Beams used to be a 2. She doesn't. She is basically vulnerable during her breakup because it continues on hit, no matter how. It doesn't even need to be a clean hit. It just needs a hit. And then the other one that got nerfed that had 0 right to be nerfed is this one. Remember, this 4 cost is what it used to be 3,400. Now it doesn't even do that. And here's a 5 cost. A full commitment 5 cost that doesn't even do 5,000 anymore. And they didn't fix those leaders. Those 2 undeserved nerfs. They did nothing. And they got shot.
Three, 2, 1, go!
Which part are you trying to refer to now? With Trent? Okay. But why are you even running Magna Assist, huh? No! Anyway, I can't do anything there. Great. And yeah, see, it still activates. Got rid of the block to at least help. There we go. And hand cannon shot. You just stood there! At least it's making sure it lands properly. But even then... No! Point blank! Guns blazing! Yeah, that's still in range. Legendary Ranger mode! Once again, bubbles! Explode! And scratch them! You backdashed? Or what? You backdashed after activating the arrow? Also, who's to say they didn't take some inspiration from the old thumbnail I had against Trent vs. Daggeron? The arrows were flying down towards Daggeron in that thumbnail. But who knows? The arrow type effect they did was going above and below, but they just reused the projectile animation. And here's Mac. As per usual, if we're in the middle of a breaker, he's going to skip the animation, and he's going to, yeah. I didn't even get the blocks. I didn't even get to show there. Backdash, yeah. Drag down? No. Yeah. In range. Now let's see here. What if I... Nope! With that, you get launched. Again. Can't get a shot. Okay, now the problem is I'm low energy. Yeah. You would have guessed. That one. I cancel. No, and how quickly are you going to be able to press the super? Yeah. Right, actually, this is another thing. I'm just going to point this out. Remember how we have all the stupid characters known as Justin and Ollie doing reverse launch on their shooting projectiles? We almost had that situation with Emma, with her primary strike. But how about we put it this way? Why did Daggeron lose it? 400 crystals is epics. Not 300. Legendaries are 500. Yeah, remember how Daggeron used to have a reverse launch on his middle slot super breaker that starts with the double kick? Yeah, that lost its reverse launch. And he's a legendary. Why the retarded epics gain the ability to keep that reverse launch on a normal move. Huh? A Daggeron can't even enter his super stand against any new character. Just remember that as well. He can never enter it. He just can't. He never gets the ability to. Anyway, he didn't stop this one. Time to hit you with a barrage. And then you get hit by a crit that clearly needs to hit there. So yeah, Daggeron lost that quite a while ago. In a super state that's supposed to be permanent, that removes his block. So you basically have to sabotage yourself, and now you don't even get a good super state while being low health. You heal, and you don't even get to have that type of projectile. So why do these stupid epics get to keep that on regular moves, on the same cost, on longer animations? Specifically Justin. While Ollie is just a single hit, but in a kit with an invincible attack. No. Wow. Yeah, it doesn't continue. We slide. Up you go. And with that, we'll hit with a hand cannon. Nope. Good enough. Good enough. That's a slash. We slide. Point blank. And we recover one. That's good enough. Yep. Fire again. Fading spark. No. Fine. Let's see here. Expecting the breaker? Yeah, there it is. But not the breaker I was referring to anyway. Up you go. No, that's not. Fine. Someone didn't rotate. But they also didn't activate it late. At least they rotated to their block, but even then. There goes the situation of not using the assist. You know, actually, here's the worst part about it. Technically, this is a problem with Emma's design. It has been revealed. She's not invincible. She's just high in the air. She can probably dodge supers, specific ones. Anyway, here's a problem with Emma as well we have found. It's called assist spam. You want to use the enhanced version of her breaker, you're going to need to spam assist because you need to rotate Gia back in. But you're very much expecting this type of behavior. You want to rotate that, you're going to have to do this. Yeah, there it is. No, you cannot. You can cancel. So yeah, there's another problem. You only get this if you basically just use your assists, which is another problem. Whee! There, I've rotated back in again. Nope. And again. This is the problem. It's a bit of a problem with this design. They can add multiple into the power-ups, maybe. But we're not going to be expecting nWay to go back to other kits. Like, who knows? If they add another Mega Force character, Technically, Orion even... Okay, no, that's on them. Someone give me proper information between... Because we had Yoinky on Twitch, mentioned specifically with... let's see here. We got... Okay, you mentioned... there. Isn't that supposed to be... Yeah, Emma and Orion, aren't they a couple? Someone... I just want to make sure. Is that actually the case? Because at that point, that's on nWay for missing an entire opportunity. Do something of a combo attack so that you can actually just run both of them. No, they weren't. Good enough. But Yoinky got that wrong. So it was Troy? Or what was it? There. As I said, that part I need to have a confirmed thing on. So if it was Troy, they could have done something. They get shit. Yeah, okay. Wow. But not common. Yeah. Okay. And at this point, what do we have of other Megaforce potentially appearing later on? Will they ever go back to this one and actually give a reason so we don't have to see the same one over and over? Because now we're going to kind of have assist spam problems where you have to use this character. And because you're forced to use 2 assists, now you can't get the second one. The only way to access this power-up is by running this assist.
3, 2, 1, go!
You say that, but is that properly the case? Nope. Guns blazing. You dashed. Gia did not get buffed. All that happened is her assist now helps another specific character. That didn't help. The fact that that technically is dodgeable at a specific range, but not at the same time. Gotta play kicks, point blank, fading spark, up you go, and point blank. Legendary Ranger mode. Here you go. The only thing here is you can see how much damage that single combo just did. Now I would say it's only due to Fading Spark. Fading Spark is probably her strongest move in terms of utility. In terms of hitting the opponent quickly, it's probably her block, so you can just set up a primary strike again. But then you just loop back into Fading Spark. Because that is a 7-cost combo there. And by that, it's block into primary strike into Fading Spark, are the 3-cost primary strike. 7-cost combo. And then you just start recovering energy again. And again. So, too many blocks. Let's see what we have here. Can we... Yep, we solved it. There you go, guns blazing. For that one. Here you go. Bit of a barrage. And now we wait for... Yep, there we go. And we got it twice. We got it 3 times. We got it 4 times! Wow. How many more do we need? Here, guns blazing. You can strike this. There. We only got it once. We only got 1 breaker. We got it again. Guys blazing. I don't know why you're pressing that button. You're not the one with the advantage here. Anyway. There's no such thing as Jack SPD nerf. I don't know what you're on. If you mean the assist not being allowed to cancel, that's just because anyway didn't want to try and fix that bug. They didn't want to allow people to fly around. Did you actually try the character yet? Just because you want the character to be a legendary doesn't mean anything. Do you think she wanted to be one? The epics and the legendaries just... In this case, I see no difference. If you wanted her to do the same thing as Troy, that's technically boring. But she's... Either way, all the character designs are already done. They already did do something unique, though. If you really want to go by legendary and epics, they already did something unique. And in this case, it's with the assist. So if you use Gia, we already have a unique interaction there. So being a legendary would not have changed that. Probably. Mostly. Anyway. Here you go. She ran through the door. Back away. Nope. More unique than Zio Rocky, exactly. Yeah, that's sad. Anyway, we're gonna have to do this. Can you dodge, please? There we go. You dodged. That was useless. I need 6 energy again. There we go. Got rid of it. But I can't get it now. So... no. I've been trying to just do the thing. So be it. Guns blazing. No? Okay. Good enough. 3. Yeah, you didn't stop that one. Here you go. Explode. As you can tell, she does just have... She sadly doesn't have the similar morph effects that Tommy does. She just changes rapidly with the thing deteriorating every time that does that. Nah, it was low health. Plus, the situation can very much change. Remember that Dom was nerfed as well. Even though he wasn't in the same situation. He actually just got a cost increase. Nothing about his kit was changed. So, yeah. You have too many blocks. Because they're not loading screens, they're thumbnails. Can you not? Fading Spark. No. Again. Fading Spark here. With that, get launched. We're probably expecting Kimberly, so we all know we're going to back away. Find the right spot. Yeah, you have no energy. You have no energy. There you go. There. Done. Now you get fired an extra time. Stop playing this leader if you don't know what to do. Blind spot. Butterfly kick. Point blank. And legendary ranger mode. Again. This is also something I apparently have a problem with. The blind spot is easier based on the leader you use. The blind spot to reach for Ninja Billy assist. Yeah. Hello, Damien. I'm currently playing the new character, as you can tell. And now I have to fight Troy. Here's a Troy. Too many blocks. Nice, did it second. And hack out a shot. There we go. And now... block, yep, no. So far, the usual. It's the expected thing. Here you go. Did we get the power up? No, sadly not. Well, you ran into that one. Guns blazing. It's time to blast them into the sky. Butterfly kicks. Nope. But I can't backdash in time. Can't break it either. You're gonna spam it again? Yeah, nope. Rain of lead needed. I broke it slightly. That didn't do as much damage as it's supposed to. But no, it's still gonna knock out. Look at this. Yeah, I broke the damage amount because I wasn't there entirely, but no, because the fire is still 321 over multiple ticks. And Troy recovers energy when he activates the super. Yeah, he just gets activated twice. Did he even rotate that middle slot? I think it did. I stopped his block with a breaker, and then, yeah. Cam is not weak. He's just different. No 50-50 in that sense, but you've got multiple instant combo starters and a breaker. He can cancel and try and recover energy alongside silencing your middle slot. So it's something like Troy only can spam strikes or his assist. Yeah, she doesn't have a cancel there. You have to cancel before you use the breaker. There we go. And up. Slide again. She can't loop that. That's one thing, though. She can't. And there it goes again. The block bug happens again. Okay, well. Nope. You were too slow. Now, I'm gonna blast you to the sky like I did with your last one, but this time I'm knocking you out instead. With bubbles! About to start charging forwards. Oh yeah, actually there's another thing I did point out. Anyway, fix your textures. Fix your texture quality, seriously. Every time you add a season of the same type, you keep adding a new texture that's worse quality than the last. Like, if we go to every single season release, we go to the first one, you go to the second one, we notice the quality of the image just drops. Badly. In fact, even Emma's gun is actually even smaller than Gia's. Not to mention the model texture quality is just horrible. Like, even through ripping the models for the thing, it's bad. And it's not supposed to be that bad. Like, these textures are not supposed... These are the textures we're seeing in-game already. Don't know why, what's going on there. Yeah, of course. Okay, do we really have to do a hand cannon shot or something? And we're not allowed to press a button. Yeah. Yeah, what else? By comparison, remember that Harvey is still faster. And, you know, even if we stole his energy, he's going to just get his super. Anyway, that's just a bad rotation there. Anyone can be perfected if you just play your cards in the wrong way. Or rather, maybe Harvey in this case. Yeah. I'm gonna put it this way. Spoiler for his video. I perfected 2 Oracos with Harvey. Small spoiler for his video. Take that how you would, how you want. It's just, yeah. It's the only concerning part about it. Anyway, up we go. And now, what do we do here? No. I said no. I can just press it again. It didn't rotate. And we're gonna launch you once more. And your health is too low. At least you can jump, but you never used your middle slot breaker other than the spin. So anyway, it was just being rude.
KO, you win.
Like, anyway, if we look at the quality of the weapon, look what's happening there. Look at them. What is this? Look at that. Just why? In fact, that's the why I'm not. Be aware, I'm not even using. You can see. Just look at the quality of the weapons. That's why I'm not even using the blaster. It's both smaller, and the texture quality is bad. Why? They actually combined the weapon and the blaster onto one texture. But the problem with that is the fact that didn't help. You just made the quality worse, and you didn't line up the things correctly. So there's cutting. Don't you hear constantly, XRS? Yeah, a good game, but even then. Korag. Different Korag. Galactic Wars. Oracle! There! Yep, there it is. Confirmed. Yeah. Sometimes you may think it's just a projectile thing. No. We have the block bug on Emma as well. She has it. Anyway. Great! Of course he's at point blank range now. Wasn't good enough. Wasn't good enough. What if we just... Here you go. Fire. And butterfly kicks. Another again. And the game is giving me it multiple times. He probably could have used his breaker there, but, get scratched.
KO, you win.
Yes, I saw the same thing, and that's not new. Be aware, if you hit someone with full momentum, he would still whiff. Like, hitting at max range or close range would make Sam super whiff. The first and second hit land, the last hit doesn't. It's real concerning. Okay, really? Just Camille? You didn't pay attention! Let's see! And yeah, it just outright resets the hits as well. That time freeze does not help the situation. Okay, fine. You were slow and you still did that. No! Point blank, poke. Again! There we go. Back away. What if I just do that? I'll use it early. And now, I can do this. Instead of you getting a chance to blast me, I continue to blast you. And I slash you. Go underground. There, end with a super. You slowly descend into the ground. Yeah, she's not even there. All that animation is VFX. The actual character is doing nothing. Every single one of those pieces. Like, every time we look at the renders of the stuff on their loading screens, we don't see the lines, so we can clearly tell they're using a different one. Or they maybe solved the problem and they just used Gia's. Because Gia's outright just taking one of Gia's weapons to begin with. Okay, fine. What do we have here? 2 strike assists, 1 single break. Oh yeah, only 1 breaker, but stats. No! You know, technically this is the combo. Just use Gia right as soon as you're about to enter the recovery, so you can just dash forwards. Back away. No. Butterfly kicks. Point blank. And there you go. Blast it away. Well, that worked. Now, second range? That's Jin. That's on me. Well, fire this. Okay, so you decided not to press anything. Never mind, he crashed. Okay, point blank. What do you mean, that's the thing. It's literally Jed. It's kind of obvious. Time Force pink into Alyssa into Kimberly. Just Alien Ranger white. Time Force pink. Wild Force white. Mighty Morphin pink. Well, fading spark. Up you go. And point blank. Ah, fine. Just blasted. Gonna rotate. Sometimes you gotta block in the assist slot. Get rid of this. Nope. Okay, fine. So be it. That's all reached. Yeah, it's outright full screen. Rain of Lead. That works. And then... Why does it go at an angle? Why does it go at an angle? No. It's still reached. That was a fail, but it's still reached. What if it just... What did it... Okay, that just happened. It didn't even launch. That did not launch. Yeah, just a warning, don't use the super after the block if you're not ready to press the super instantly. Or it might not even work in general. Let's hope it doesn't happen to Biozone. Let's just hope this thing doesn't have to Biozone. Okay, well, no, he gets caught by this. Guns blazing! You're gonna go into the sky! With a bunch of shots getting fired at you in multiple ways. Back away. Nope. Fading spark. You can block this. Testing. I'm hoping everything looks to be good. YouTube stream is still fine. Yeah. Give me a moment to get everything back up. So, something got... nothing bad, something just got switched off when something else was getting switched off. So, yeah. Not a great situation, but... yeah. Ruins the momentum, but... of course gets into... of course it happens when I'm fighting Paizo. Hoping everything looks to be normal. It's the same stream, it just continues. You know, I want to send a message just to make sure the chat still goes through. Go. That's that. Set up and done. Okay. Drop frames existed for a moment, but everything looks to be still good. Also, I didn't misspell her name, right? Don't think I did. Why did? Stupid cable. This guy has just crit spam. You're probably expecting them to use Ninja Kimberly after finding a window. You know. Nope. You can't do that. We're instantly just gonna poke and use a breaker. So now we're expecting them to use Ninja Kimberly, which is gonna give them a free bunch of crits. Nope, not allowed there. And what else? Right for that. Into what? Can you not? Seriously. Just don't. Fire this. And launch. Well, at least it was mostly leader. Actually, no, it was all leader. There was just a few blocks, but I'm pretty sure the only reason we didn't see the assist spam is just because they decided to give Harvey instead of Kimberly. I'm just gonna ping everyone again, sorry, but it is my Discord server to begin with. You join, that's it. You have to mute it if you don't want to hear it. Anyway, yeah, there's Mac. So this one, probably expecting that. Gonna drag down? No. Block in the middle slot? Or what? Yeah, block in the middle slot. Fire that one. Fire you. Yeah, we'll just back away. No, of course. Fine, dragged. That didn't register. No registering, and whiff. Some of it. Still insanely slow, but yet he still lands the last hit because... why not? As I said, Mac is one of the technically worst ones they added. In terms of consistency. He's just... really? Before the match begins. Yeah. Go. Okay, I wanted to leave. Now what do we do? Nope, no instant attack for you. Fading smoke, and yeah, there's the non-combo. But now he's gonna press the breaker. Yeah. You don't get the other card. You don't get it. I dashed forwards and you didn't want to give it anyway. Great job, game. Great job. No. We don't get Gia here. But let's see. Wow. What else? Not good enough because someone's hitting way higher than they're allowed. And then that happens. Fading smoke. Up you go. And with that one, we're just gonna have to back away. Yep. Butterfly kicks. Or what? I didn't even delay that. Are you just gonna claim that now it doesn't work on Billy? Wow.
KO. You lose.
I didn't delay it, game. You're just gonna be stupid like that. Their hit reactions are probably not gonna work correctly. Was it not instantly pressed? If we see another Ninja Billy, then we're gonna see it. We're gonna see if something happens. Anyway, let's try that again. Because why not? Because I didn't dash.
2, 1, go.
No, it is butterfly kicks. What am I? That was the correct name. Well, that does something at least. Well, you can see point blank there lands, and this one is a little high. So whatever whatever their hit reaction is, it's just not good. Whatever their choice was, is just clearly didn't work on Billy. Next thing you know, it always does that against him, which is then going to be a severe problem that they need to address properly. Fire here and up. They don't get a special thing in the middle of super, so don't worry about that. But seriously. If we fight another Billy, we're going to have to do that combo, and we're going to see. If it fails, it means nWay has to fix that as well. Because then that means she gets 0 combos. Just because they keep doing a different hit reaction. Just do a double sweep. It's not like you haven't done it before. Why do we have to knock them to the ground instantly? First hit sweep, second hit is floor. Why? In fact, that's actually no, that's even more of a bug. If we fight Nick in their super mode, they're probably gonna get shoved to the ground. That character doesn't even. Harvey can't even use his block against that mode. See there? There's the combo. Does its job. And there's a 0 energy time recovery situation. Don't recover anything because nah. Anyway, yeah, there's the damage and nothing else. Didn't work. We slide. Out we go. And butterfly kicks. Let's see how fast you can pressure a strike. Okay, well, they didn't manage to press anything. If he even had a fast card, just a question. But there's the block. It's instantly used right after. It's not that hard to queue it up, but yeah. I don't know. My power... What was it? Tripped. Just something got switched off at the same time it wasn't supposed to.
3, 2, 1.
Anyway, this person has too many blocks. Nope, okay. No. With that one, we wait and fire. Guns blazing. There. We got the full combo because it has to be used at that point. And something we didn't get to see in the actual video there. Okay. Yeah, there's the 0 downsides to Troy. Away with you! And nope. Oh, of course. Nope, fine. Okay. I got a shot. Nope. They're watching soon enough. Fine. What's bad about Gia might have actually dodged that. Gia might have been able to just outright dodge that. No. 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 Fire this. And guns blazing. That's it. This is a full-on combo. Now get blasted. Right into the sky. There's an ending. Unlike the super, there's an ending. So whatever is going on there is... From what I can tell, it's just because nWay forgot to maybe rotate the camera. Because I did say it's probably on Orc's collision. And they decided to forget to do it on the VFX. Because most of the time the character's underground, so they focused on the VFX first.
3, 2, 1, go!
Butterfly kicks. No. Yeah, then they get it. Not a combo. Troy, you will not heal them. That's it. That assist needs to stop. The only problem with it is the fact that there's 0 downsides to it. Alright, now they can do their combo. It's a small damage boost, is all it really is. Yeah, it goes full screen. Point blank. And again, Fading Spark. Have another one. Up we go. And get launched. Yeah, maybe they could have done something else there. Yeah, that's it. Nah, that's already done. It's already done. My primary slot lined up. You can run in different assists, but at that point, as I said, I don't end up using assists. We're not running teams. Maybe a different assist Izzy exists if you really want a cheaper rotation one. It's still a strike. Or we could do other traps. She can probably do a trap with Death Ranger.
3, 2, 1, go!
Technically they can. Ah, of course, no. There goes the example. But even then, that one was barely delayed. Sweep. But I'm sure you can see these things. Nah. Poke into Mastodon Sentry, into Gia. Zip? No, no block there. Nope. Again. Guns blazing. Nope. It's still there. I am getting spammed by the block more than I need to be.
KO.
She's not broken, she's probably fun. Her actual design-wise is good. The only problems, as I said, there's only 2 problems I have with her. But they're minuscule. It's just the fact that her actual super attack is Y, the upward slash, just to daze the opponent. Like, the first hit just doesn't make sense. Unless it's a reference to something, it's a useless attack. Or something that just doesn't work. And then the whole premise of her secondary gimmick with her breaker is kind of an assist spam-like gimmick. And that's kind of the problem. If you want to make use of it, you basically have to assist spam. Anyway. There. If you have a delay, you don't have to worry about doing this at a specific point. There. Up we go. And back away. Nope. Okay, that's on me. I stood still. Primary and sweep again. Nope, they went for their breaker. Is that worth it, though? Why do you need multiple crits? You don't need to try... you really need to pay attention when you're allowed to use that. Get blasted into the sky! In here! Slash them again. And explode. And right now it seems like in challenges, Jen seems to be the finishing attack multiple times. Like, that seems to be the most common one. There's not really any problems there. But her super does a bit around 5,000. Technically less than whatever Nick does. Not Nick. What Troy does in a single combo. After he activates his super. Yeah, okay. Poke. And butterfly kicks. Guns blazing. Not a combo, but there. Get blasted into your corner again. What do we have? What do we have here? No. Oh, I got over there. We get launched. Back away. Well, that worked. Using the strike so I can keep the dodge properties. Okay, wow. I don't need it that much. Well, at least they did slide long enough. What if I do this? Okay, never mind. I was about to dodge forwards just to do that. There's the kick.
KO.
you can tell, you can still see those types of things. Didn't need to use Gia to end the fight, but yeah. So yeah, for Eric, we're gonna go into precise details. They don't have this. They don't have the same skeletons. Battle for the Grid and Lazy Wars. They have similar, but they still don't have the same. One is actually unique in that sense; it's a proper model. The other one is the universal male skeleton. From what I remember, Battle for the Grid has an extra bone for the spine. They can actually, that bot actually, I've actually tried to make the characters use other animations already. Technically, you can just rename the bones and they do fix the animations in Unity. So, I can go ahead and attempt to make it work later on. I can open up Unity and probably just grab the animation for Battle for the Grid Eric, and then just see about renaming Eric's bones or to work with the finish sequence one. Because I technically would have to add a bone, but at that point, yeah, or more like I think I can order the animation from finish sequence. There's actually, no, there's an extra bone there. There should be a way to skip it, actually. Now, Gia is also strong. Gia assist is a very useful assist. I don't see how she's not a waste of a slot. I don't know what you're on. Reminder, she's a rare, so she's easy to level, so it's a full-on stat stick alongside the fact that she actually has a lot of damage. Because she'll be leveled up. She's a 4 cost. If you're gonna call her a waste, I don't know what you're on. Because at that point, you're spam of one of the other assists. So then your point, your thinking is the problem. Yeah, that one's just launch them down to the ground from as high as possible. Guys blazing, go ahead. Yeah, there it is. You had to basically cancel so you can bait them into using something. That's the only way you're getting out of these types of situations. No! Get rid of that. No, again. Yeah, as you can tell. Cheap enough as well. You can't use anything after that block. So they make use of that. Bit of information where you have to make sure your primary is the actual other strike. Or your opponent isn't paying attention. Because block spamming is enough. Or rather just watch your opponent. All of her cards are reactable in that sense. If she presses the block twice, you can't block it anyway. Yeah, that's Bruce with the same team setup. Guns blazing. Nope. Nah. Fine. Sweep. Fire hand cannon shot. There we go. Block here. Well, that was useless. But he's not paying attention. So, here you go. Now you can just get hit by a barrage of bullets. Back away. Nope. Okay. Well, I don't know if he realized he cancelled. Because that did not look somewhat intentional. Nope. He's not a breaker. But he was quickly, at least he pressed the button. Ah, sad. I mean, the same thing can be said about Magnet Defender. And nWay has yet to do something about Black Dragon's issues. Here's Drakon getting actually, you know what? By the time Black Dragon even got an attempt to adjust, they've already buffed Drakon twice. And yet both of those times have been mediocre. His current buff is still a mediocre change. Compared to what he actually needs. Yeah, slower. Wait to the corner. Sweep again. How much of a loop you got? Again? No? Okay. Here you go. 1, 2. And point blank. And back away. Nah, gets caught. Oh, do you have a block in the same type of slot situation, or what? Super here, 4,800. Where is the knockout, actually? 5.5, isn't it?
KO. You lose.
I've already seen them, and and the fact that they removed one of his combos is real concerning. Not to mention, the Thunder Slash being knocked back in the air does not help him. Like, I get you want to just combo the primary strikes together, but no. They already don't. Like, if you land a Thunder Slash in neutral, you still can't combo with your other primary strikes. You're gonna have to press your breaker to begin with. So then turning that into a knockback in the air is more of a problem than anything else. Not only, like I said, they gave it recovery. So we have one problem there. Yeah, and also I just mistimed that badly. The first problem being that he does knockback in the air, so he gets less energy. And the other side of it being he doesn't get to have fine. Great. Can't hit them first. And then it bugs. Are you even able to react, or was that just a one-time situation? Probably. Probably a one-time situation with that perfect hit. Yeah. So yeah, Dracon gets more recovery on Thunder Slash, causes knockback in the air, meaning less energy. So not only did they make him worse in terms of Thunder Slash, in terms of his energy management there, they gave him more recovery, they also just... Yeah, no. The entirety of the Thunder Slash change was bad. Other primary strike is he's able to. It's been front loaded on the damage, so it's a poke that's a half combo. Which, as I just mentioned, you can't combo into that attack from Thunder Slash. And I'll mention if you try to, now you don't even get the damage.
3, 2,
Wow. Yeah, actually no, it's just bad. No, that part of it does not synergize at all because they front load the damage. You either need your middle slot or the opponent does not have a block. So no matter how you put it, the Thunder Slash change does not work for anything. It just does not work in general. No. Dracon's change is bad. No. The middle slot ones are the only ones that are decent. And that's still a 5 cost. So, yeah. I know it's a 3 cost now. So he's just there to try and break your defense. That's what Dracon's there to do. But in terms of his actual combos, he's no better. He's actually... At least you can jump. At least his middle slot block. No. It's carry. Now they make it carry. They actually make it carry closer to the corner with that, with the middle slot's breaker. That's the only thing. At least they gave the things cancels. They gave the 4 cost to cancel. But no.
3, 2,
Just
1,
no.
go.
Whatever happened there. No. Okay. Now I can't even remember the other thing. What was even the subject? What was even the subject? Wow. Yeah, he just gets to see that perfectly. Middle slot is all he got. 4 costs to go into the air, but no. With how Trent got added, or got his buff to the thing, No. They did not test either of those two. Because at that point, they would have realized the laser arrows can spawn twice. And for Drakon, even on paper, that's bad. Now, guess what? They could have added a V2 for Drakon's, if they wanted to go this route, there's a very simple thing they could have easily done. A V2 for the other strike. If you cancel it from Thunder Slash, it'll do the simple uppercut. Because he's already doing a downward slash. He's already doing one. Anyway. What do we have here? Yep. Up you go. And again. Yeah, good enough. Congratulations. Why does that look slower anyway? Why does that look slower? Guns blazing. It's not gonna knock out, but I can dash forwards. Butterfly kicks. They spawn twice at a specific distance from the opponents. And it does double the damage of the display damage. It is very much not intentional. Whatever's happening there is something being repeated in the code. Especially since this weapon is missing as well. So, yeah, we're probably not going to see that last for a while longer. And as I said for Drakon, his situation is literally just... no. Do we really have to have the same situation happen here? Again. With another Harvey. Because every single Harvey has started with a block. And here. This time I actually get to loop. Point blank. There. And then you don't rotate. Wow. Just great. No rotation there. Primary slot? What is it going to be? Well, that just happened. Alright, up you go. And get slashed. And be aware, that Drakon even stopped the super, but that was still chase assist. Hello. Don't know why you brought Troy. Yeah, the quality of the model is still bad. But as I said, Drakon's change is mediocre. You got the equivalent change, similar change as Blake. You're a Troy main, then why are you trying out in casual to go play ranked? I don't know what you're on. That seems a little questionable at best. To try out characters and other things, or at least do something different, but I guess that has to be the case. But fine. You do you. Anyway, butterfly kicks. No. Nope. There you go. Stay in the air. He's still never allowed to dodge Mac. And be aware, those projectiles are also undodgeable. Because why wouldn't they be? Just because I'm in the middle of a dash doesn't mean you're allowed to just ignore the attack game. Again. Yeah, I'm sure Lothar is as well, but I still use him as level 1. Anyway, I wasn't allowed to use my middle slot. Couldn't recover that much energy. If he's only level 1, you can still use him. Reminder, level 1 with level 11 abilities is the same as a level 3 with level 8. No, with level 9 abilities. Rather, in this case, level 4 with level 8 abilities is the exact same as a level 1 with level 11. The only difference is how far you're on the talent tree. And with it being a legendary, you're only missing 8 power-ups.
3, 2, 1, go!
Alright, this is a Leo. Right now, we have the assist, but that's about it. Yeah, you just have to be flying. They're just flying about. What if I just do this? Nope, there it goes. There goes it. Just having a problem. Anyway, off you go. Okay. Well, you blocked this one. You're going to your corner. Getting hit by Legendary Ranger mode. And explode. I always get scratched. It's either scratch or explode. The damage distribution in the kit doesn't seem to be lining up quite well to try to end it with the super. But as long as we don't see something stupid with Camille, we're fine. Tiny Ranger. Too many blocks and a breaker. So I only have a decade strike slot. Slide! Well, that looked like it lagged just because he got in the way. You don't get to heal. No. Here, you get blasted again. There you go. Expecting Oracle? Nope, but, well, that didn't help. What about now? No. Okay. Well, this is the character that gets hit the easiest because she has bad recovery. Team battle. Fine. But at the same time, is it really? I'm not exactly running an assist. Like, I would have to run a Rhine to make a workable team. On Mega Force. But that assist is still stupid. With its choice to just stun. Stun and shove. Still stupid. Just remember, Justin has his primary strike, or primary block, not strike, does a shove stagger. Reminder that that's what his shots do. If we still had the bug happening, you would see it constantly. When trying to use a breaker against him, he just keeps shoving you away. Too many blocks. Can I get a breaker? Nah. Game said, nah. Yeah. No. Guns blazing. You have a dedicated strike slot. You might as well use it. There we go. Sweep and point blank. I expect Billy. Fine, go ahead. We're going back to the corner, and now what? I'm in the air. Point blank. Fading spark and fire. We both fly away. The only difference between Justin before and after is literally his barely any recovery on his breaker being added. And just the first hit reaction of his middle slot strike being changed. He still can't cancel it, but the problem with it is the fact that it's still a small window, apparently. And remember, it's still a 3 cost that just launches with a long animation with barely any recovery. A lot of things can be sorted if they just make a knockback as it should. Well, that didn't help. Guns blazing. Quick combo. Maybe I could have done something different there, but meh. This is fine. No. Again, point blank. There you go. That sequence does not last that long. Yeah, okay. So be it. I need to go ahead and get rid of this. So be it. Fine. My window is not good enough there. Fading spark. Let's see. Well, I did get something here. Let's see whether or not you can press the strike. They proceeded not to. Legendary Ranger mode. Once again. 5 bubbles. Fading spark. Nope, just backflip. Of all things, Jam's theme started playing. And it seems like it fits. Seems like it fits. Let's see if we got something there.
3,
It somewhat fits. Not at the same time. Interrupt it. Whatever you're gonna try and do. Here. Get rid of this. And, of course, poke. No. Not in range. Ah, that is. So be it. I question whether or not it's actually hitting far, as close as it's supposed to. We don't have any bugs. Good enough. Get rid of this one. Not gonna be in range, but he can't cancel. So fire. Gun blazing. With that, we actually will get the super after this, more than likely. Fading spark. And explode. And there's the super. No, but one of the attacks missed. Did one of the bubbles just outright miss? I think it did. Found another problem. It just did less damage. Got a crit to make up for it, but then... Unless it's always been missing. Who knows? We didn't get any Mega Force buffs with this one. No Robonite, but yet here we are with Lothar change. And Leo barely getting any changes. Drakon and Trent are the only ones that actually got something that happened. Chase. I mean, we have something to chase them down. Literally. And okay. That didn't help. That did nothing. Q system. We slide! You're not escaping. We blast them here. And kick them over. That's not helpful. And that didn't queue up instantly. Okay. No. Okay, fine. We slide! And that is a point blank. Guns blazing. You blast me, I blast you. Now how about... Yeah, no, there. The bubble didn't always miss. This time, on the previous opponent, it did. So yeah, this is more of a question of why. Really questionable of why. Yep. Against Leo. What's this one? Tuna, right? Or is it somehow... Okay, I can't even check the name. It's too early for that. Nope, and then they cancelled. Nope, they did. Okay, fine. Nope, it's just Jam's theme into Jam's theme. Wow. And game's not rotating. Point blank. Fading smoke. And up you go. There, that worked. What are you gonna do? No, you just instantly cancel. Cancelled again. There, I've activated Gia's buff, but what now? Point blank. Fine. Fine. So be it. Did you really need that again? Did they not just use a regular block? How many times did I win before this loss? She does her job. Interesting design. Yeah, right there. That was the last one. For me, it's more wins than losses, but even then. She's a solid character there, but as I said, between the few problems there are, yeah. Or rather, the look of the design, in that sense. Wow. Real original hero assists, aren't we? There, activated it. What now? We're gonna end with Orico? No. Okay. The buff does not last long enough. But the sad part is you just have to keep using this. So the problem is you have to line Gia up with your actual combos. Otherwise you get nothing. No. Wow, no backdash. Game can't give me the backdash required. And as you can clearly tell... Wow. Again with Camille ruining everything. Because once again, she still hits when she's not allowed to. 3 cost. They just made Lauren a 4. By their logic of Camille being allowed to exist like that still, Lauren's a 2 cost. That's their logic. Because Lauren does less damage, has a shorter animation, and is way slower. Yet here we are with an idiotic design as Camille, who still has more range as well. Now, point blank, fading spark, up you go, and we're back away. Nah, then there's Ollie still. And away into strike. Nope. Point blank. Point blank. And butterfly kicks. The gun's blazing. No. Of course you don't rotate. See you later, Spider again. What, you're gonna get your... Yeah, of course they get their breaker anyway. They don't cancel. They activate that. Yeah, then of course. 3 cost. Remember, they made Steel boring with the ending. They removed the only one of the hidden things you could have done. They turned what a... You know, technically, you know what? They turned a semi-bug that Steel had, and they gave it only halfway. They only gave it half to Emma. Of all things. They removed it from Steel and they only gave half of it to Emma. You have to use an assist to activate this special breaker, but you can't keep this special interaction with Steel's super. Of all things. Wow. Think about it real carefully. Because that's what nWay's priorities are. Poke. No? All you did was prolong the combo that's gonna happen to you. Okay, as long as you enter the blasting state, it should be fine. Actually, yeah, no, that's correct. As long as you enter the follow-up, because remember the 3rd hit needs to land. You need to land the 3rd hit of that breaker, and you'll get the follow-up attack. As long as you enter that before, you will activate Gia, even without the super state. Even with the super state about to end during the animation, because it's already started. She blasts twice, and... What's wrong with this weirdo? What's wrong with that weirdo? And we have a retard that's just spamming. It's Casual Tuesdays. Get lost. You don't need to spam and be a retard. No one needs to see the same thing over and over in chat of an idiot that can't speak normally. Just your first message, and that's all you've done. I can easily stop anything. I don't even need to focus. It's still gonna be a win most of the time. Your opponent's first combo won't mean much if they don't capitalize on it. Right, is this you or something? Is that you? Or are you just some rando? Anyone else want to send a couple of messages to get rid of that? Because it's not gonna disappear, it seems. Anyway. You have too many blocks again.
2, 1.
Point. And nope. Hello. Okay. Well, that doesn't help. As you can tell as well, when you're trying to rotate it, and you just have to know you're gonna get your... Yeah, wow. You just have to know you have your breaker, otherwise you're never gonna get that, because clearly we just had the rotation do that. And then crit spam. That person was not there. Well, it's past midnight. Up what goes? Just get rid of it. Reflect. And same team opponent. Fire. There. At least we got this one, but they really could have just pressed a strike. There. That worked. No. Okay, get rid of this. And again. There, now I can rotate. There, see this combo right here. You can very easily... No. There, it's just... There, they did a full Mega Force combo of me having to hit them. A lot of blasting, in fact. Okay. Fine, let's see what we have here. Do you have another block? It's gonna be another Troy. Okay, well, that didn't help you. That didn't help you at all. You're gonna get hit by a super after this one. But maybe only the beginning. Slash them! Nope, okay, bubble. Yeah, but at the same time, they're at least trying to find another unique thing to add constantly. Because Decker was technically a false stance state. Like, actually, is he the actual true first stance character? Might be the situation. He might be the first true stance character. Zeta's a swap, but he isn't after a move, but he is a stance character. Same with Fern, but that's a... She enters a state. Like, that's more of an install state rather than a stance. While Decker, however, outright just says, yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and only enter the state briefly, and you can leave it if you taunt or do something else. But you can re-enter it after every move. So there's that. Oh, come on. Blast them! Nah, fine. Fine, so be it. Butterfly kick. Butterfly kicks. Guns blazing. Did I get it? No. Oh, no, never mind, did. I got it right before. Right before it ended. Up you go. Legendary Ranger mode. Blast them with bubbles. And explode. And crush them. The real question is, where's the Deckers? Why did your other message not go through? For no reason at all, why not? It's been 2 hours, we test out Emma. I'm gonna show a few quick things with Drakon and Trent. But, as I said, Drakon's one is mediocre. So let me just, Nah, we'll do this. Because I want to show a small interaction. But at the same time, it's not very small. It's just launch the opponent and then just slash them down. You don't have to launch them anymore, you can just do a quick leap. As I said, his change is quite mediocre, because now you can't do a Thunder Slash Perfect Cancel for more energy. That doesn't get to exist anymore. That's not gonna work. Okay, fine. Of course you actually bounce this one. Like here for an example, it'll hit, but now look at that. Just, really? Why do you have to make it worse? Why do you have to make it worse? Yeah, okay. Of course, torpedo. Wow. Didn't even whiff. It just said, nah, we're gonna land that one. Yeah, okay. Let me just, you know what? I can do this. Sadly, it didn't matter. I wanted them to do a different attack. That didn't matter, it seems. I want them to do a different attack. Now, you can use that to dodge Leo's super. Trent got nothing. Trent didn't get utility. He just got an outright redone somewhat of a kit. Like, they could have done something with super speed attack. That he goes invincible during it, so he can maybe use that to dodge Leo. But they didn't give him any utility. Trent has 0 utility. Dracon, jump! The fact that that didn't even look like it activated, it just did the dash variant. Get away. Now, of course. Right, I'm expecting the usual combo. And he gets his reverse launch, because why shouldn't he? Wow. There. Oh, of course. Fine, should have been expected. No, you will not. And then we do this, and then... Why not? Technically, if I'm not mistaken, it is slower, but... It is slower. But at least you can skip the whole... at least you can get into the air sooner. To maybe get down on the ground sooner. Just in case you don't want to leave yourself negative, but... I could have... Probably should just launch him in the air, but... Still a 5 cost. Reminder that Justin's is a 4. And he gets to recover a lot of energy after. Dracon's is a knockback. And this guy's back. Okay, we're expecting a juggle fest, or what? Yeah, that's on me for not instantly just getting ready to press the block. There. Have that. Why not? You know, I forgot that it's not a single hit. Go ahead, press your super, press your breaker, because that's all you need to do. Don't need me to recover extra, it just goes forwards. Uh-huh. 1. Thunder Slash. And again. And again. Like, that's it. That's all it is. And not to mention, then there's this problem. Wow. Oh yeah, then we can add that as another problem. He's slower. Not only did I not knock them back as far, because the vacuum effect from the breaker doesn't vanish in time. Like, the whole thing just... So, the cyclone effect, or just... you give the opponent momentum or something, whatever. You cause them to get brought closer, but it doesn't disappear, so when he slashes down, guess what happens? The opponent doesn't fly as far. And that's a problem. You don't get them as far away from your corner as possible. They just fly, they don't fly back as far. So Dracon not only doesn't even get to... He doesn't even get to keep his own corner as easily. So there's a problem.
3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah, okay. At least, nope, you missed some damage. Uh-huh. Off we go. Why are you going down there? That geobug still exists. Great. No! You really could have also just cancelled that as well. No. And Thunder Slash. Now you can do this. This is one of the few things, but you have to land it in the first place. And she really doesn't go high enough for most of the bad hitboxes that nWay has added. Man, if it's trying to echo, it's trying to echo. As you can tell, once again, visual clarity. Either, Emma's just not high enough, or once again, hitboxes are not matching hitboxes. Because nothing ever does. Nothing follows their visual effect anymore. Here's an idea. Maybe learn to pause the visual effect the moment it's at max size. And then try and configure the hitbox to look like that. At least then it'd be mostly correct. Good enough. You know, here's another idea. Dracon's Cyclone should have teleported forwards. That part should have teleported forwards. Do a backdash, he teleports in place. Surging Cyclone teleport forwards, teleport into the opponent, and slash down. Can you not use the have a bad one right now? Trying to keep it into the fighting background music, not the calm one yet. So there's a lot of things for Dracon, and they're not in that. And then this situation, he wouldn't be good. He's the same situation as Blake. I'm certain right now he's weaker than Ethan as well. They're both still weaker than Ethan. You have no blocks.
2, 1, go.
Anyway, Thunder Slash. And again. Wow. Of course, she gets shoved down. What else would have happened? That's just the sad part. And wow. You even removed recovery. So tell me, is he actually still in the middle of his breaker when he's doing that? Or is he no longer in the middle of breaker frames? Wow. You're really going to be changing all these proper, actual things that are proper game mechanics to your game. And you're going to change them. Wow. I still have the previous build's data. Let's see. Asset bundles, Decker. Yeah. I still have the previous build. So I can check how badly they decided, now let's just remove this whole using recovery after an attack to help shield an effect by sitting in the recovery, possibly having my energy reset, because when I'm getting hit by an attack, you have a chance when your energy recharge meter is at 0, that the opponent with your opposite attack would reset your energy. Now apparently that is being removed because nWay just doesn't want any sort of recovery-based usages. Not allowed to sit through something. You're not allowed to make use of the actual attack type. Wow. Because that's what I'm seeing right now. That's literally what I'm seeing. All I'm seeing right now. Right there would be a Thunder Slash as an option. Let's see how stupid they wanted to be here. Just because they buffed a character, they wanted to reconfigure their recovery type situations. So other than just forcing you to actually use, or forcing you to just sit through recovery now on Dracon's primary 2 cost, now we're going to be unable to use the whole premise of recovery frames to not get hit by an attack. that clearly shouldn't hit. Because we've had situations like that already. Something's going to hit at a specific range, but you pressed an attack. Now it won't because you timed it. No. So there's an example. At least Surging Cyclone can do that, but that's all it is going to do. You can make it cheaper and chase them down. They didn't even add, they just skip. Doesn't combine the damage. You can jump. So at least that's good. But there's a lot of things wrong with Dracon's change. So first of all, let me memorize what we have in the previous build for Drakon. Graph holder, Rangers, comics, Drakon. Actually, no, he's no longer there. They removed him a while ago when they gave him a cape and broke his taunt animation. Right. Really gonna have problems now, or is this really what we're gonna have to do? Because you see there, you can sit through a long bit of animation. Because I don't think this person was taunt spamming before, or if they were, they're just failing horrendously. Activated, but not good enough. It's a villain. Villain because he has a unique cape, comics, Drakon, graph holder. You can see you can slip through quite a bit of recovery. Let's go to spinning slash combo. Yes, let's see. So, animation change. He has 35 frames he can use. Yep. He had 35 frames he could use to sit through strike frames. So he could actually do things. Or rather, make use of situations where he has to wait out someone being in the air that can't be hit. That's what he had before. I'll be getting to that code shortly. I did check Thunder Slash now. Up you go. Yeah, not to mention I made that bounce, so there's that. Away. And nope. We make that cheaper just to be able to do that. But you can see, that's the problem. You're still gonna be forced to just do that. And great. Okay. Not getting out of this one. Not to mention that's still slow compared to other characters. Newer characters are still faster than Drakon when that comes to that. Ambiguous slash. 160. Left right button input, ability button input, yeah. From frame 50 to any time you wanted to, you could just cancel Drakon's primary slash. And he was allowed to sit through an extra 57 frames before he needed to press a button, which is an entire extra second of recovery they can choose to sit through with strike frames. Okay? I just accidentally tried to click the wrong thing, so I didn't want. Sorry for the loud sound. Now we're gonna go to the new one, which is more than likely gonna have some sad, stupid behavior because you can't buff something and just make their other situations worse. That's on me for dashing. Anyway. No. Great. There you go. Fine. Rocky. Yeah, actually, let's point out that Rocky Assist is allowed to still do these stupid things, so yeah. That exists. His assist can sit through a lot of recovery. Great. Go ahead. You're gonna slide? No? Okay. Here's Drakon. The new one. Of course, your torpedo. Yeah, he's allowed to cancel at any point now. And of course, now the moment his attack ends, or rather the moment he's allowed to dash, is when the clash frames end. Give it a bit. I'm first going through Dracon's stupid changes. Is there even a reason to... There's no difference between the backdash, yeah. Spinning slash combo, wow, yep. The moment he lands that second hit, you lose it already. Yeah, I should have just done the same one. Plus there was an instant. Yeah, guess what? Now he's not allowed to sit through recovery. Furious Blade Combo's whole mechanic of sitting there to make sure someone like, oh yeah, whiffing against Black Dragon. Or anyone with a long breaker you can't do against. He's been weakened against Merrick, of all characters. Guess what? That's what happened. Drakon is now weaker when fighting Merrick. Because he can't use his strike frames during that breaker to just not get hit by it. They removed that. Yeah, good enough. Dodge frames. So, yeah, spinning slash. How many recovery frames can he exploit? 0. He can't sit through the animation. Nah, no strike properties for you. No strike properties for you. Yep. If you actually want to know something, Emma is negative. During her strike, she can lose to a breaker, even though she's still in the middle of a strike and can't press a button. She's currently in that situation with her primary slide. She loses to, she can lose to a breaker while going backwards. Wow. And you're forced to do something there. They gave it the exact same ability recovery. They didn't make it worse. That's one good thing. So if you didn't know how to time your abilities, your Drakon will be fine still. But if you're actually one that knew how to use his timing, you're just weakened. Because they had to nerf that, didn't they? There's clearly a character that needs outright just buffs, needs to be nerfed in some way. When their buffs aren't even good. Yep. Ah yes, look at that. Energy reset. That's not something he can do now when it comes to some other characters hitting. 6.5. Multiple crits. Not gonna knock out here. Of course you choose to crit again! And there's no crit boosting, yet here we are. Yeah. Yep, under frame 98, and you're forced to wait an extra 9 frames instead of doing a perfect cancel. Yeah. Guess what? That change is simply bad. There's no such thing as sitting through recovery to help getting out of breakers you can't hit. So, invincible breakers or breakers out of range or blocks that are out of range, like Jack, if you mistime it, you're not allowed to do anything against it anymore. You have to queue up another card, you can't just sit there. That's not how it's gonna work anymore. Drakon cannot get away with anything like that. Simply doesn't work. Wow, you clearly need 2 of those in a row, don't you? Yeah, here we are with 2 Rockies in a row because everyone needs to see that constantly. Drakon's worse. Simple as that. The only thing that's any better is this. Everything else is worse. This concept... No, this is adjusted. Not better, not worse. It's adjusted. 3 costs. You're not allowed to sit through its strike recovery to save yourself from something like Ranger Slayer! As well. Let's add that to the list. Ranger Slayer is added to the list. Blast Blitz. Someone tell me, what are you going to do to Blast Blitz if you have no energy now? You can't sit through this thing's recovery. They got rid of it. You can't use Fierce Blade Combat. They got rid of recovery as there as well. This is not a buff. This is an adjustment to him because it's outright Thunder Slash. You don't get to recovery anymore. And guess what? You also can't perfectly cancel it. Can we cancel it at any time? Yeah, and now you're forcing us to wait. You just turned him into Mighty Morphin Zack and made that attack worse. Just like Psycho Red, that change is not needed.
Ooh, is that the best you can do?
Yeah, no one entered on Twitch side yet. As I said before, hello, Zia and Violet. Okay, though. I think that's the one. I couldn't get a name. I was trying to read your name. Do not spam. Where is... Yeah, blanked. Why can I not even think what was the character again? What was I even thinking? It wasn't Mighty Morphin Zack. It was Psycho Red. Yeah. Psycho Rage was an example. He had a perfect cancel. When they tried to go about his first buff, because he barely got one as well, Psycho Storm wouldn't be blockable after you got staggered. What they did was give Psycho Rage the same type of treatment that Thunder Slash currently got. Yeah. Psycho Rage outright had that problem, and it deleted some of his combos. Just because he couldn't dash instantly after the after doing a perfect cancel, he couldn't dash instantly to the Psycho Storm in the corner. No, he lost that combo. Drakon just lost their combo based on recovery after doing a Thunder Slash to perfectly end, because you also make use of the stagger to recover into his Corkscrew Torpedo or Surging Cyclone. Because you would recover the perfect amount in the perfect time, and you would get the ability to recover 1 energy. In fact, it's Corkscrew Torpedo into Thunder Slash, recover 1, and Surging Cyclone. Or even just recover 1, just do another Corkscrew Torpedo to keep your 1 energy. You would do that for an advantage, and not to mention his unique combos. But now, because they got rid of the perfect cancel and made this an air knockback instead of just a stagger again, right now the cycling the primary slot is not what we need to see. We don't need to see a stupid primary spam here. Instead, now we don't get that combo. So we lost the ability for Drakon to do a 11 EP combo in rapid succession with the Corkscrew Torpedo, Thunder Slash, recover 1, Surging Cyclone with a perfect cancel from this. Which means, guess what? So anyone that likes Phantom Ranger right now but with his cancels, guess what? nWay hates that. They're gonna delete it. If they at all choose to buff Phantom Ranger. Say goodbye to his current identity of being able to cancel things with attacks and dashes perfectly on Spectre Rush and Backpillar Barrage. Say goodbye to that. We're losing it. Because their thought process there does not want to keep the things unique about the attacks. They've already gained no recovery when you perfectly time your dash. We're lucky that Zeo Gold still has his perfect cancel on Golden Pulse, but he's still a dash requirement character. No, perfect cancels, because apparently that's not a gimmick to them. And then let's add a little bit of a detail. Apparently they're also just not allowing a lot of exploit recovery frames. There is a downside to these things and an upside. It's related to the exact thing I mentioned. There are specific breakers that you cannot stop unless you're doing a specific thing, which is making use of a long attack frame. Or rather, long clash frames. Ranger Slayer being an example. She continues on strikes and armor. And guess what now? Thunder Slash lost the recovery frames of his strike clash frames. They removed it. They removed 57 frames. Nope, not 57. 40 frames. No, 50. I said if he can sit through 57 frames because he would be able to after the hit. I counted the entire thing from the hit to the end of the clash frames just because you could cancel at any point with the dash. Now you can't. And the moment you're able to queue up a card, you no longer have the ability to... you don't get to keep those strikes anymore. You don't get to keep the strike frames. Same goes for Furious Blade combo. You can't sit through the recovery after he launches. Nope, the moment he's able to press a card or dash, he no longer has clash frames. Before, he had plenty of them. So, they removed that as well. And same thing with Cork Torpedo, but that's a breaker, so... Something like, a block that lasts a while that goes invincible, but there's not many of those things. But how about I put it this way, we can look at Jack Assist. Well, that didn't hit, and he's still in the air, and guess what? Now you whiffed the second hit, and the second shot landed. Because you didn't queue up an attack or dash. Or rather, you tried to dash, but guess what? The shot hit you right then. They still don't know how to buff things. Whoever buffed characters before, they tried. Magna exists. His one was a half buff, and then they made Zika's Vengeance a full cost. But here we are, with Drakon, having clash frame problems now. Alongside the fact he's barely a buff. And then Trent has his other problems of... Let's see... A bug about repeating the arrows. We all know that's not going to stay. We all know that's not going to stay. His change is pretty simple. He's at least better. Trent is outright better right now, okay? But he doesn't have a gimmick anymore. They deleted the Dino Thunder gimmick completely. At this point, he's a basic character. That's what Trent is now. No. Trent is not a Magna buff. He's still weaker. Because Trent doesn't have the same type of utility. Trent is just... tries to be fast. Trent is just an attempt at being fast. The breaker damage is a bug. And we all know that. As you can tell, there's that one. Wow. As you can tell, barely anything there, but then... No. And at this point, just let the thing fully play out. There. And again. Metal slot spam. So yeah. I wouldn't call Trent anything similar to Magna. Okay? Trent is also likely not keeping this double arrow barrage because... Let's look at this. Let's look at the display damage. You see that? I might put it this way. The double barrage causes that forecast to do 7,000. Roughly, or rather 6,500. We all know it's not staying.
3, 2, 1.
They would notice. Someone would also complain. Really? Could we just... Yeah. Well, let's see what we have here. Great. See that? And it's not that hard to try and achieve. It's specifically distance-based. Block. Well, let's see. Nothing? Yeah, nothing. Okay. No, fine. Okay, here we go. Miss. That means it's still active. Poke. Okay. Yeah. No. I don't care about assists. Simple as that. There's only one favorite assist, and that is just bridge assist, and that's it. I don't know why you want to ask that type of question when it comes to when this game is just assist spams when it comes to the other people. So it's just bridge assist, and that's it. No other assist truly stands out. They're all either spam or they do something unique, but then it's a problem. Camille is just stupid. Mac just is another stupid one. People aren't just... Once again, this is legendary. And then we have Ninja Kimberly with another stupid design, which is broken.
3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah. Anyway, here's the perfect example of... Okay, no, I pressed the wrong button. No. That's in range. Sit rank 10. Uh-huh. In what way? No. So be it. As I said, there's an example. There goes Trent doing 6,000 damage. Not even 6.5. 6,000 damage with that thing. Distance based. He's not gonna get to do that constantly. And with Dracon, they didn't speed him up. I think they just did something else there. Made him launch away, but I don't think they sped him up. 3 cost launch away instead while in the air, but that's it. Yeah, okay. How many times are we gonna see that Ninja Kimberly? Huh? Yeah, this one's not going to. There you go. Nope, fine. Let's see here. Nope, and I get it twice. So be it. Get rid of that. I do a backdash of all things. Yeah, here's another one. Why not?
KO, you win.
Just had to go to the corner. The worst part about it is that taunt dashing would help this thing go faster. Which is not great. But you shouldn't get used to the double arrows. It's not staying. They didn't let Black Dragon keep his 10 beam hits, where you can land 8 at once. They didn't let him keep his infinite armor throughout Stomp and Jump. Now Lothar is over here cheating with his assist because he can just cancel. Can't even use it in Casual Tuesday to try and get people to try and use something against it. And that's about it. Black Dragon doesn't even get to be unique anymore. Because some stupid assist like that exists. Yep. Again. There. Strike. And what now? There we go. Ah yes, the actual unique gimmick on a Dino Thunder character. You're not gonna leave the corner, you don't have a block. You ran out of your blocks a long time ago.
KO, you win.
So yeah. Lothar assist needs to lose the armor when he's about to hit the opponent. Because at this point, the fact that they gave it the ability to cancel and now the projectile is dodgeable. Yeah, if the opponent has a block, they no longer have the ability to punish them. And now if they don't have a block, they can dodge.
2, 1, go.
You can see the problem there. Anyway. No. Fine. Let's see here. You almost whiffed. What do we have? No. Nothing. Hammer's here. Okay, well, we'll do this. Great. Useless. There, it activated twice. There was an example. If that was Zenaku, she would have been hit. So, there it goes. There it goes. Why did you cancel? I'd like to know why the game just said that was a cancel. Up we go. And now one. Still hits. Up we go. And primary. Yeah. Of course. Yes, we've seen it plenty of times. It was literally in the first match of the stream. It was literally in the first match of the stream. No, it dashed forwards. What are you on? I haven't done that on YouTube side. You literally saw a forward dash, Geki. You need to pay attention to what happened with that one. But yeah, they also increased the detection range of Trent's punch, so be aware, you can't even press a round start without just whiffing. So be warned of that. And look at that weak damage. That is less than Kira's. As you can tell, there's Trent with a double arrow barrage and other things. We're done with that one. With a bit of extra time, that's where I went over. In terms of Drakon and Trent, he's also in the same situation, but they gave Dashing Punch more detection range. Give it less! Seriously! I don't know why you gave it more detection range. You didn't even give the animation the ability to move forwards. I don't know why we're even dealing with this. No matter how they go about these changes and adding the characters, it's stupid. It's not even that. Guess what? They can stand still and they'll dodge it. Hammett, round start. You can press Dashing Punch. Guess what? You will whiff. They can stand still and Dashing Punch can whiff because its detection range was for some dumb reason increased. Is that even doing 2.3? Laser arrows are able to be spammed forward dash at a specific distance to do 6,000 damage. Super speed attack is the only new attack that's decent. Like everything else has a problem now. This how about I put it in short? This balance patch was horrendous. There was nothing good about it. Whatever was changed was half-assed. It was bad. For now, I think that's all we have time for. Because I have to be somewhere tomorrow. It's 20 minutes to 1 a.m. Just go far away from your opponent. Punch them away, backdash to as close as possible to your corner. Forward dash as fast as possible during his arrows. When you activate the arrows, just just dash as fast forward as possible. And then it'll activate. As I said, specific distance. For some reason, it needs the opponent far away. And yeah, they basically rushed it. This balance patch was not thought through properly. When they did the things, all they did was write it down, and they didn't properly test. Because otherwise, Trent's thing would not have gone through. And if they actually played their game, they would not have touched Dracon's frame clash type recovery. But no, they don't play their own game at this point. Properly. They don't understand what exists for what reason. Those clash frames on the extended bit of animation is needed for something like Ranger Slayer jumping away. You allowed her to jump off of the non-counter type, meaning she's used a breaker against your strike, she's still gonna go invincible and jump off of you. She's gonna remain invincible, and you need to use a strike because you can't dodge her attack. You can't dodge that breaker. So, you need to press a strike. Wanna know what they did? They removed the clash frames, so guess what? You don't have energy, she wins! We can add the same thing for Bridge. Bridge goes invincible and jumps over you, shoots 2 projectiles. Oh yeah, Black Dragon's Beam. Undodgeable. You need to make sure you get close enough. Most of the time it is very easy to reach him. You can just dash forwards and press a strike. Yeah, I meant Sky. And then we can also go to the other opposite direction. Not Bridge, yeah. Even then, Bridge might be another example. But his is a different situation. No, that's going to be a no. There's a lot of things that you have to care about when adding the stuff to the character with the clash frames to actually make them function in a specific scenario. Yeah, I know. Yeah, not to mention the fact that, yeah, Black Dragon's Beam still can't land all 5 hits unless you're specifically in the corner already. And most of the time, that doesn't even work even then. If you're getting close to the corner, by that point, you can't even do that. Because by then, you're going to get knocked away, so you have to use a strike. Or your armor, because they more than likely to press a button. In terms of Emma's situation, she's a fun character. But I can already tell you, she already has clash frame issues. Remember how I said she was about to also get hit by the projectile during the death range assist? Yeah. If that was Sanaku, she would land in the projectile and not be able to do anything. Her invincibility has worn off, and her dodge frames have worn off. She's no longer invincible, and she's landing on the ground, and she got hit by the projectile. Yeah. 20 frames of vulnerability, from what I remember. Frame 75 is when she can act. She's vulnerable again on frame 55. Or, no. You know what? I can get the exact details. Let me just grab the exact details. Because I remember reading it. Let's see here. So. Fading Spark. Single hit. It's active for 25 frames. And that I didn't read. Of course. Hey, anyone want to know that, let's see, Fading Spark, the slide that Emma does, turns into a super. Seriously? I was even correct there as well, anyway, about the ability button inputs there. Yeah, it's similar to how Ilarion had a similar situation, and she probably still has it. Same with Billy. Possibly. If you hit within the last 5 frames of the active hitbox, it is a super and it's typeless. It's a typeless attack for 5 frames because they thought about making it end its clash frames on frame 55 and deactivate the weapon on frame 60. You can only dash or attack on frame 75 of this initial attack, but you can't actually dash, you can only attack because they didn't give it dash frames. You can cancel it before then, but that's about it. She has forward momentum. Getting this exact scenario will likely require, let's see, likely a dodging assist. An assist that can dodge. And then the actual hit. Yeah, she's vulnerable for 30 frames. Yeah. This is during the extra part of it where she jumps backwards. She has 30 frames where she's completely vulnerable during this. End clash frame 75, branch frame 105. There's no animation speed changes here. She is vulnerable for 30 frames. So meaning she could have landed in the projectile and gone. Guns blazing. You can cancel before you hit. Okay? Actually, hold on. Let me make sure. I didn't read that wrong. Branch frames 25. End frame. No, it's like Dracon. You can cancel at any point. Correction. I read that thing wrong. But at that point, it's still bad. Branch frame 110. End clash frame 110. The breaker, if it doesn't hit the last hit, is completely just no. You can't extend it. Same goes for the follow-up of it. The moment she shoots the projectile at frame 105, now she ends her clash frames. Clash frames end at 120 frames, and she can dash after 120 frames. So that one's fair. She's completely invincible and dodges projectiles. So she doesn't invalidate your projectiles. But that's still frame 120. And she's not negative or positive in that sense. Ah, yes. So, you want to know the worst part about this? It's the fact that she actually she stole Dracon's things. So, for the Gia combination breaker, she has... she's fully invincible and dodges projectiles during the entire thing. Okay? What happens there is she just keeps shooting, and frame 210 is when the last projectile spawns, and she can dash and attack at frame 225. However, she can sit through the animation for frame 280. So she can actually sit through this thing in case there are any blocks. More than likely not, but you can technically look at Heckle. But that block is not coming back that quickly. Or that slowly. So that's not happening. I don't know why there's a dash back here. No, this is part of it. That's the 2 part of it, which is the... Actually, no, that's the selection before. Then in a super, it doesn't matter. She's supposed to be in super frames at that point. But she's 30 frames negative anyway. Point blank. Let's look at this thing. Frame 57, frame 57. She's not vulnerable or positive in that way. She can't extend it and sit there, so she loses the range layer. The assist is just an assist, so that's not going to matter. Not to mention, it auto transitions to another attack, so end frame 34, and she can dash on frame 32. She actually has 2 frames of positive. So yeah, warning. To anyone that thinks you can run away from Emma, you probably can't block the slide at max range. More than likely. Let's do a test. I can go ahead and try and get some opponents that'll try and fight that situation. Let's see if anyone tries to block and it just fails. It turns typeless. Frame 55 and 60, yes. After an entire second, while she slides, she cannot be blocked because she's no longer in the middle of a strike. She is typeless. So she doesn't care if you use a block or anything. You're gonna need to use armor. So at this point, I can just shove the opponent to the other side, and yeah. Ah, yes, you're gonna probably try and rat at me.
2, 1, go!
Still in the middle of a strike. Ah, yes, I'm just gonna do this. I'm gonna try and get where the opponent will actually try and do something, but he's just gonna run forwards. Yeah, it was in the air. You don't have the energy for that. Don't. Yeah, fine. Okay, let's see here. Again. We're trying to get the situation where they will try to block. It's fine, you reach. They reach. Anything? No. You can't reach. Run to your corner. Come on. Run. Assist cancel.
KO. You win.
Yep, that just happened because that person did not know what to do. You're using Master on Sentry and you don't know how to play him. We're trying to see, can we force those 5 frames to be active? Can we see it? Does it even exist? Can you actually achieve that thing without causing some sort of forcing them to try and do something?
3, 2, 1, go.
Away. Nothing. Okay. There you go. Nah. Fine. Let's see here. Yeah, okay. No, but it said strike out there, but that just means they went into the active strike hitbox there. And there goes Troy healing anyway. Is that max distance though? Was that max distance? Enough out of you. No longer there. No longer there. Away with you. Again. Away with you. You know what? Get out. We don't need a KT. Troy just being wide was probably what happened there. If anything, someone like Ninja Kimberly can be found. What? What? Wait, what? Why haven't you haven't seen anything? Yeah, of course you haven't even. Yeah, if you were busy with something, fine, fair enough. You just haven't seen anything with this character. Wait, yeah. Actually, there was an example. Maybe that could have happened there. Great. Yeah. Run away, come on. Run. Wow. No, they just don't want to. Away. We'll only know if they press the card in the replays if we get that tight situation. That's the only problem. Yeah, nope. There they press that. No. That's gonna be a no for that one. Do we want to give this? You know what? Nah. Here, Geki, full super for you. They didn't want to do any cinematic thing, though. That's the sad part. No cinematic camera for the super. Just because it's an epic. Will that one even work?
Go.
No, he didn't even press it. Come on. Get rid of this. No. Away with you. With that, I think we can do this. No. Okay. Again. That's on me. Here. Nope. Still no. Not gonna happen there either. Here you go. Breaker. There. We got someone to do that, of all things. So now what? You gonna stay in your corner? I can scare him off. No. Didn't help. Just trying to slide at them without at full screen right now. But we need them to be able to block at the same time while we're sliding. I question whether or not they've even tested whether or not that can actually happen. Because it might only be a doggy cage situation, or like I said, a teleport back situation as well. Like Black Dragon assist might actually cause it, but who knows. Or even Levi or Aeon. Because they're still projectiles.
3, 2, 1. Go.
Yeah. I wasn't allowed to instantly cancel. Yeah, what else? He's in the corner. I question, did he try to block or didn't he? Wow. Of course you use Origo. Didn't say, okay, it still said strike out there. It still said strikeouts. Yeah, what else? You didn't get the other assist. Yeah, there's the invincibility on Orco assist. Yep. Because primary slot had to be blocked off when I'm trying to do this thing. They have Fern. Whether or not that means anything, we'll see. No. Again. Can you stay in your corner? We just need someone to be late on their block. Or at least try to. Stop running forwards. There. They didn't land though. No. Assist cancel is all that one did. Can you stay in your corner? No. Ah, of course. Come on, stay in your corner.
KO. You win.
I don't know. Did that look like they tried to block? I didn't see anything. At this point, Ninja Kimberly might be also the only one that can just do it without any setups. Just land in the hitbox.
3, 2, 1. Go.
Didn't take long at all for it to block off the primary slot this time. Nah, of course, there goes the block bug. That's not even typeless. That was just a block bug. Uh-huh. Great. Blocked off. What else? No. And knock them out. Just knock them out. Because they decided not to just instantly attack.
KO. You win.
That's what happens. You don't learn to instantly dash on your attacks. We tested what we can. It looks like it's fine. Let's go to this replay. Let's see at the end. Maybe we have some things we can see. Because we probably didn't get lucky with some of the visuals. Like, it maybe got cancelled instantly.
3, 2,
Maybe it got cancelled instantly.
go.
Yeah. Yeah, of course I didn't do anything there. Like, even pressing a breaker in this specific scenario would actually allow it to see if it says strikeout or anything like that. As you can tell, yeah. No. I don't see them having a block, so we'll be lucky if we can see one. Like, assist cancel means nothing, that's just the assist. Poke, there's your block, which they just got rid of. Yeah. Interrupt, I don't knock them out here, and they still have no block. So, yeah, not to mention, actually, I just looked at it. They're not managing the EP at all, they just had 0. They do not know how to. Okay. It's 1 AM, I'm well over time as well, even making up for the time lost for when the power disconnected. Yeah. That's all for now. Thank you for the joint. This was Emma's release. She is fun, and that's about it. But she has a bunch of serious problems that might not do well. That might not be a good situation. So, thank you for the joint. That is all for today. If I can hopefully get rid of the art block type situation I'm kind of in. Yeah. Hopefully, we'll get Harvey and Decker's thumbnails and videos up soon. Correctly. Anyway, goodbye.